Welcome to the Groomer next door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
Hi everybody and welcome to episode 38 of The Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host, Chris Green. Sitting next to me, as always, is the wonderful, talented Sarah.
Hello.
And I guess let's start off with how are you feeling this week?
Much better. It was a little difficult right after the surgery. I had a lot of discomfort. Now I'm kind of gotten just used to it. But all in all, it's just nice not to have those horrible back pains anymore. Terrible stuff.
And it has been nice not worrying about it. We also have our little co-host over here. She's playing in the driveway. Say hi.
Hi.
What are you playing with?
I'm playing with chalk.
Yep, sidewalk chalk. Our whole driveway looks like it's been tagged up. So maybe it's Compton, East LA, something like that. Maybe East St. Louis. Who knows? All right. Well, let's get started. So we're going to go back to our format of actually talking about pets and everything this week. We have kind of a jam-packed week. It was very busy last week. As always, it just never seems to end. But definitely a lot to go over. For this episode, what we're going to be going over is a great dog that came in. We'll explain, of course, in detail. Kim from Peacock, she had contacted us about somebody who needed their dog groomed.
She wanted to know how much it would be, but she told me the circumstances of what's going on, and we didn't charge. Yeah,
it was a free groom, but it's a great story. Also, we want to go over flaxseed oil, how that will benefit your pet. And that actually came into a great story, which we'll go into, that was asked a couple weeks ago. Again, I want to talk about the donation box over at KROGER. Definitely had a situation happen this past week that I'd love to talk about. And, of course, we want to wish Allie and Gage congratulations on their wedding that happened yesterday. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Where would you like to start?
We start with probably DEE-OOO-GEE.
All right, let's start with DEE-OOO-GEE. Now, not D-O-G, it's D-O-G. I liked it, actually. I was just got an entertainment out of it. For any of you who actually follow us on Facebook, we do album art every week for the show. And in the album art, we always title out what's going to be on the episode, and we have photos right behind or in front of the album art. So if you haven't seen that, it's on our Facebook. If you actually listen to us through YouTube, then that's your wallpaper right now. But DEE-OOO-GEE was a great pup. We got a phone call 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't a phone call. She actually contacted me through Facebook.
That's right. Well, why was I even thinking that she would call us? We never talk by phone. We always talk either by text or Facebook message.
Yeah, we got I personally only have 500 minutes on my phone, and I maybe use 40 of them.
That's still more than I think I use.
So we just typically Facebook message each other back and forth. But she sent me a message asking how much it would be. And I just said simple, what kind of dog is it? She goes, I don't know, it's small.
I don't know, it's not a cat, come on.
So she described it as a small dog, and she, said that the family is a loving family. They love all their animals and their pets, and that...
she needed to get groomed.
Yeah, he needed to get groomed, and... they didn't exactly have the money for it.
Which that is something that we really understand a lot. It is expensive to have a pet, and like we're always talking about, there's definitely leeway that you got to have.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when the animals were, I believe, dumped on them, really.
Yeah, it does seem like that. I mean, I don't know the whole story on it, but they did acquire a lot of the pets because the pets didn't have a home. And it definitely, gets to us, the fact that they're willing to, I know without having the lap mics, it's a little different.
Well, I'm looking at it, your voice is coming through so strong, and mine's like these little teeny tiny
Well, you
words.
never actually look at the monitor when
Yeah.
we're recording. Sorry, folks. I know we just went off on our little
Tangent.
Yep. Actually, here's the thing. When we record, typically I always have all the monitor in front of me. I'm watching everything. Sarah usually just talks.
And I have just a little lap mic attached to my shirt or whatnot, but now we have to actually share the snowball again. So I have to speak louder.
Well, actually, you always do come up like that. Always come up like that. You have a very soft voice. So, back to DOG. Great dog. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's ever had a groom before.
It looked like it has. It's just.
It acted like it had.
It might have been like at home or whatnot.
Yeah.
He was very timid, very scared. But he warmed up to us pretty quickly.
That did not take that long. I mean, I remember pulling him out of the kennel and bringing him into the bath, and he was just the sweetest dog. I mean, you take a little bit of extra time because you don't know if it's used to the environment. You don't, with, of course, a dog that you don't know how many times, if ever, it's actually had a bath.
Yeah, you gotta treat it like a new customer coming on in. That's what we did, and every once in a while we can donate a groom. I know we donated grooms back in December for Hometown Rolla's Santa fundraiser.
Yep.
Hometown Santa fundraiser. We donated 3 grooms to help with the charity or whatnot. So when I can, we try to do this and help.
Well, what we do is a little bit different. We don't just go out, take a pet out of nowhere, and rush it over to the salon. We actually take our time by setting up an appointment for them so that they know to be there at a specific time on a specific day. That way, with our schedule, we could never have anybody just show up. They would just kill us.
Yeah, it's like I said, we still have to make sure that we get our bills paid. But, we're so thankful for the customers that we've had, the generosity of our customers, our loyalty to our, with our customers. Some people will be upset that we had to call and cancel them right away since I was rushed to the emergency room.
Yeah, we had a few.
But they were all understanding. They all knew. And going through all this pain and suffering, and now feeling so good about everything, really need to give back.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, Kim, we'll set up an appointment time. I found the next available spot. I said, just bring the pup in and we'll go from there. So she brings in the pup. We didn't quite know the name of it right away.
Actually, I didn't know the name of the dog until after.
Yeah. So
I just enjoyed playing with the dog.
But most dogs respond very well to honey or baby or puppy or good boy or
or
stuff
girl,
like,
if it's a girl. If it's that case.
But I got him here, and I didn't quite know what I was going to do with the haircut, due to the fact that his face was cut up a little bit because they kind of trimmed the hair back at home so he can see. So I kind of made it work.
The dog's adorable. If you haven't, we have it on the Shadowwood Facebook page. We didn't go into full detail of the story behind the dog. We didn't go plaster that around. It just didn't seem appropriate. To do something nice, you don't have to plaster it all over the websites, saying, "Hey, look, I gave a free groom." But DEE-OOO-GEE is on there if you are curious to see the dog. I know we heard back from Kim, and tell about the reaction.
Well, I asked, like always, did she like it? Do they like it? Oh, I hope they like it. I hope they like it. I don't know why I doubt so much of the groom. I just want to make sure.
I don't think it's doubting.
Well, I want to make sure they're happy with it. I hate doing something that people are upset with. When a dog comes in so severely mad and we have to strip him down, some people get upset with that because their dog's naked. Well, even though it's not my fault, I still feel bad. So I asked her, does she like it? So she sent me this picture of his mama holding him, and she goes, yeah. She started crying when she saw it, so.
Which was, you know, obviously, it's rewarding to know that, you know, somebody felt that touched by what we did and liked the work that we put into it that much.
And her words was, you know, I thought he looked beautiful before, but now he's just stunning. I was like, oh.
And he really is. I mean, he really is a stunning dog, an absolute sweetheart. You know,
he was a little scared of the clippers towards the front end. He did try to nip.
Yeah.
But once he realized it wasn't there to hurt him, the other side he was perfectly fine for. When I groom, I do one side at a time, so I can keep track of my progress. Some groomers, there was this one groomer I tried to teach at the middle of last year, and she didn't exactly want to listen. So.
Well, she kind of washed out, so she's not really a groomer. She was.
No, yeah, she gave up after that, but she kept jumping from place to place to place. But when you jump from place to place to place, you can't get everything done right. You know, you'd have to have an actual list in your head. Well, so the one side he was a little touchy for. Excuse me. But the other side, he turned out to be a pro, and he was great for his face. He has some scabbing going on, and you know, a little bit of dry skin, but in the most part, we didn't shave him down.
No.
He wasn't matted. So they do keep good care of him.
No,
at home.
they do keep good care. I mean, you can tell with the end result. The dog did not look like it was just, you know, shaved down to nothing with no effort. There is an actual cut in that. Nice design. It flowed.
Exactly. So it just made my heart smile knowing that she loved it. And, you know, Peacock knows that when they have a pup or a cat that needs to be seen, just to give me a call. We'll try to fit it in as much as we can. Sometimes, okay, you can use that one. Sorry, daughter came by. Yeah, you can use a wet one.
You know that they can always call on us. We're always there for Peacock. And obviously they know that already. And it isn't one of those, you know, situations where we just feel like, yeah, well, it's nice to be wanted. It actually is really an honor to actually have them want us to help out, to step up like we do. This isn't something that we take as just, you know, oh, whatever. We take every one of them as seriously and as much respect as we possibly can.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the owner shouldn't feel bad about it.
Nope. No, actually, they added us to Facebook, which was great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So we got another Facebook friend from it and another listener, too, which is awesome.
And we love your dog. Honestly, we do. There was nothing about doing everything that we did with your dog that we didn't enjoy. I mean, honestly, it was my last dog of the day. Typically, you know, you kind of would think, well, if it's the last dog, you'd be tired. You know what? It was like taking an energy drink and drinking it really quick and working on the dog. It just energized me. I left afterwards just happy and energized. So it was a great reaction. It really propelled me through the week.
Yeah, it was quite nice. And, you know, the world is full of so much ugliness and so much stuff that just makes everybody feel so down.
So much me.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that there's happy endings out there, like Scruffy from last week, and, you know, this pup this week, and such a nice and sweet owner. Because someone can't afford something does not make them bad people.
No.
All because they can't get their pet out somewhere because of lack of transportation doesn't make that person a bad person.
No,
so many nasty things out there in the world. You're not worth anything unless you have nice stuff.
Sure.
And it's such a load of bull.
It really is. And that's why we do our best to, you know, obviously work with charities, work with NPOs, give back to the community as much as we can. And it's not, you know, it's for really the simple fact that, you know, we're very lucky. We've said it before. We're very lucky. And with all the good fortune we have, we want to try to at least share it with as many people as we can and do as much as we can for, everybody. That's why we sit down and do the podcast. That's why we volunteer our time. It's why we go and we donate money. It's simple things that honestly we can do. There's no reason why we can't. So anything else you want to go on DOG?
No, I think we covered that. I think it's pretty good. We like to talk about.
Loved it. Loved every moment. Actually, I'm going to go transfer from DOG. I didn't say it in the open. I do know Kim and different members of PCall will be working. They're working currently on doing a calendar. Now, once I get more information on when it's going to be released and everything, I'll put all the information up about it. If and this may come across very strange. I know.
Do you want me to ask?
I'll ask it because I know April will get a laugh out of this one. If you're a strapping young man with a good physique and you're looking to do modeling, or if you just want to, audition to be in this calendar, send us an email to the Groomer Next Door at yahoo.com, and I'll pass it on to the people at PCall and see if they will be able to use you in their calendar. We definitely will open up the emails to all who want to actually participate. If for some reason you're not locally here in town and you have a picture of you with your pup, and this is going to sound so strange, but your shirt is off and you're a male, please send that email to us and I will forward that. I just see April right now laughing uncontrollably about this, but anything we can do, obviously it's important. All right, you want to add anything to that one after I've sounded very strange? Yeah, okay. That was probably the most awkward thing I've ever asked in my life. All right, so moving on. Now I'm going to move on to Kroger. If for some reason you went to Kroger a couple days ago between Thursday, Friday, and the donation box was missing, there's a good reason for that. I was informed that the box actually had gone missing. It was MIA for some reason. So Kim, if you are listening, I hope you didn't mind that I actually stepped in on this one. I spoke with the manager over at Kroger. I'm just going to, his name is Joshua. Nice guy, really nice guy. Asked him about the actual box. He said that they had been waxing the floors and they didn't want the box to get damaged, which very understandable. So the box actually was gone for approximately 24 to 48 hours. So if you did go over to Kroger during that time and for some reason you didn't see the box, it was in the back. It was away from, of course, everybody's eyes. But on the bright side, it is back. Josh actually had told me that they were going to put it back that night. Confirmation the next morning that actually it had returned. All of you are great about giving information if something's there or something's not there. Man, you guys are on top of that. But if you are curious about donating some dog food, whether it's a bag of dog food, a bag of cat food, or even a single tray, one of those little one-serving trays of cat or dog food, please stop over at the Kroger store right there at 605 West 4th Street. I think I said that completely awkwardly. So 605 West 4th Street in Rolla. If you want to stop by and drop off any kind of dog food, I know that the people at PCall, they will definitely thank you for that.
I know a couple people have already donated a 40-pound bag of dog food and a 15-pound bag of cat food. To those folks, just thank you. I'm not, don't know if they listen or who they are, but thank you. That's pretty awesome. That's going to feed an animal for a long time, because I know 15-pound bag of cat food lasts a while for us.
Yeah, it lasts about a month. We have two.
Two.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. I know we normally get like the 20-pound bag or something.
I think it is 20 with 2 extra pounds or so. I don't know what it is. I just know it's a big bag. But you know, this helps. Obviously, it will feed an animal, and you know, that's what it's all about. I do know Kim has actually told us that the actual box was totally full a few days ago, so she emptied it out, and you know, they just emptied it, which is great, and of course it's going to be there for a few more weeks. So
Damn it.
Absolutely wonderful job by everybody stopping by Kroger. If for some reason you feel compelled to give a call, if you want to call, I don't know if they actually will be taking orders over the phone, if they'll let you purchase. I don't know, but give them a call. I mean, it's worth a shot. I've definitely, I haven't asked that question to Josh, but give them a call, see if there's anything that you can possibly do. It is always worth a shot. There's always something. Anyways, yeah, going on from there, I think that's about all that there is on that one.
Yeah, you want to talk about Allie?
Let's go on to Allie.
Yeah, let's go talk about Allie. Allie got married. It's so amazing. I really wish we were there. The photos that we were able to see were absolutely stunning. The reason why we couldn't go is the medicine that I was on because of the kidney stone removal. I couldn't be in heat, and I could not
Direct sunlight.
It was both. I couldn't be in an excessive amount of heat, nor I couldn't be in direct sunlight. The reason for the heat is that if I started sweating, that's losing water that's supposed to keep my my fluids flowing through the stent. Anywho, so we had to stay home, unfortunately. But man, those pictures were amazing. So Allie is part of the kennel staff. She takes care of the guests. She feeds them, cleans up after them, talks to their owners. Excuse me, and is very involved with everything at Shadowwood. She married her longtime love, Gage Maven, and Gage just graduated from basic and AIM.
I don't know.
I forgot the abbreviation to it, but he just got done with that a couple days ago, and then had their weddings, yesterday. But they are so in love. They're just amazing together. They really work with each other. They will be going to Hawaii here soon.
Yeah, we will lose them, unfortunately, to Hawaii.
Yeah, Gage is being stationed out in Hawaii, and we'll be taking Allie out there, and they'll be living
He
probably
doesn't have to take her. I mean, she can stay here, right?
Well, anywho, that's one part I don't want to get to, but...
Hey, I left last year, and I was away from you. So, I mean, I don't see 8,000 miles I was. He was, not even half of that. But it was adorable to actually, see the two of them. I don't think having a child out here was a good idea.
Well, it's not, it humanizes us. We have a child, we work hard, we love what we do, we love who we're with. So
it's just very hard because every time I look over, you guys are distracting.
Sorry, she's playing with chalk. I can't have her use all the sidewalk chalk because we're using it for a special purpose. So she can only use just a little bit of it.
But she used your blue.
Yeah, all in one little streak.
Well, it was a great wedding. St. James Winery is where it was held.
Oh, it was at a beautiful setting, beautiful area. I can't wait to see more of the photos and see more of their moments together. But I'm just so happy for them. They're great peeps.
Yeah, it looked like a great wedding. I do regret not being able to make it. Obviously, I wasn't going to go and leave Sarah home. That just isn't the way we do things. But it was kind of sad not to be able to make it to the wedding. We've been listening about it for so long now that it's kind of odd not to actually participate, not be there.
I love weddings. I really, really love it. I love the meaning of them. I love the everything about them. And it's just been so nice for the past, I'm not sure how long.
6 months.
I think it was a little more than that. But
I don't know.
talking to her about what's going on, talking about her wedding dress. She didn't have the most traditional wedding dress, but it was absolutely gorgeous. She is one of the most beautiful brides that I have ever met or seen.
And this is coming from the woman that watches Say Yes to the Dress. And which
Just,
didn't you watch that
she
for
was
like 6 hours this morning?
Whatever. But her face was lit up, just so beautiful, so happy. I mean, I've seen some other bridal photos, the past year or so, and
That they look constipated?
Yeah. But she was just loving it up. She was just making sure everything was going to be fine, whether it explodes in the air. It was going to be fine. So it was quite nifty. I can't wait to see her and
I actually like
be
the
able to talk
goofy
to her about
photos.
it.
I saw a lot of the goofy photos. Neither one of them actually took this as, oh my gosh, it's such a serious moment. I don't know if it hit them yet. I remember when we got married, we both were drunk. Not because we didn't know that we were going to get married. It was all planned. It was on our wedding day. We had, I guess you would call her a bartender, part of our little entourage. Nikki kept us well lubricated in the alcohol. But honestly, it was a blast. I mean, we got married in Las Vegas. It was a blast. Like I said a million times.
Thought the
Minister.
Yeah, the minister or whatever was a dude.
I still think it was.
It was a female. I think it was like oh well, I forgot her name. It was a female.
I have the actual, which is odd. It's the recording of it. One day I'm going to transfer the recording of our wedding. I'm going to actually transfer it from a cassette tape. Yeah, that sounds a little old, like we've been married forever. Even I was surprised it was a cassette tape. And we were married in 2007. So it's kind of funny, the fact that it has been a while, but I guess I probably shouldn't have said that because now we just seem old now.
I remember having my flip phone and calling my mom and dad who lived in Missouri while we were out in California.
We didn't even take really photos with our cell phone, did we?
Not as much.
I don't think we took any photos with cell phones.
No, we just have a few photos. But man,
I have tons of photos. Are you kidding?
I wouldn't change it for the world, that's for sure.
It wasn't what Gage and Allie did. They were a lot more traditional, a lot more wedding attire. He
was all spiffied up in his blues, and
I wore I dressed up. You dressed up, but we had more of the fun party wedding.
Yeah, I wanted to get married and then be able to have go party. So if
we did.
If I had a huge dress on, I would have to go and change, spend all that money for a 30-second ordeal. You know what I mean, 30-minute ordeal. But this way, we were able to leave and go get plastered.
I honestly would have loved to have made it to Allie and Gage's wedding. Obviously, without being able to narrate what happened, I can only go on photos and what the little things I have heard so far. They were so much more mature than we were, yeah. and they're younger than we were when we got married. So it's kind of funny how much more mature they were.
I was a year older than Allie. That's it.
Yeah, I was a couple years older. Yeah. So it's the two of them. They're a lot of fun. Both of them are a lot of fun. Both of them are very playful, great personality, great people. And I've only really hung out with Gage once, and that was the Christmas party. But when he came in the other day, it was just he's just fun. There's just nothing about it. So
and then Allie gets to welcome on into the Army life, and now she becomes an official Army wife. So
She needs
good
to
luck
watch.
to them.
She needs to watch the TV show.
Good luck to them in all of their endeavors, and I really do pray that they have a very long, very lasting, and very
Fulfilling
marriage.
Well, what's nice is that they're going to start their new life together in Hawaii, which, we've done it. We know what it's like to live in different places, travel. We've had that luxury. So it does build a great deal in a relationship. It is, it's an adventure together. I mean, we've had our share of adventures, right?
Yeah.
We've been to a lot of places. We've seen a lot of things. So, it really is a great thing. So, anyways, congratulations, Gage and Allie.
Gage and Allie Maven.
I never can say it right.
Well, I've been grooming. It's kind of funny, actually. When I worked at my other salon, I was grooming this dog named Daisy. I was grooming this dog for 4 years. And then once I was, I left my last shop and I started at Shadowwood, I started talking to Allie. Allie at this time was just basically volunteering her time in between classes to hang
she
out.
didn't start working until way after I started.
No.
No, she was still volunteering.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anywho, once she was put on payroll, or before that, we were just talking, and I asked her if she had a dog, and she said no, but my boyfriend does. I'm like, oh yeah, what's the dog's name? Oh, her name's Daisy. I'm like, huh. So she showed me a picture. I'm like, wait a second. Is that Daisy Maben? She's like, yeah, how'd you know that? I've been grooming that dog over at my last salon for the past couple of years. She goes, what, really? I'm like, yeah. So she started taking her in-laws' parent, now in-laws, dog to me over at Shadowwood. So that's how I found another one of my customers. That was totally awesome because I love Daisy. Daisy is a sweet dog, and I really missed grooming her. And sure enough, I already had some kind of connection to Allie before we even started working at Shadowwood.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Always do. That was interesting enough. Well, another topic for me to mention, I haven't mentioned it, I didn't even mention it in the open. We do have all of our episodes on YouTube. Every one of the episodes, all 37, are now officially on YouTube as well. So whether you listen to us on the Podbean, or you go over to iTunes, or now you listen to us on YouTube, we now have so many different outlets. I mean,
You worked very hard to get that up.
it was a lot of work. I mean, you have to do a lot of things to convert things back. So yeah, we actually have them all on there. The little bit of a difference that you're going to get on YouTube than you're going to get on the Podbean is you get the album art now. You don't get it for all 37 because we didn't do album art until 34. And that's when Animal Wellness Magazine up in Canada actually featured us. So we actually did not have album art each week. I did something small, but nothing like it is now. So I'm just so glad it's all up there. And they go up just as quickly as these go up. Takes a little bit more time though, but still. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah, you've been working very hard to get that up there. And what's nice is that if people don't want to go and download the thing or whatnot, or just want to go and put something up on YouTube while they're cleaning the house or whatnot, it's easier access, and we don't have to pay for that one.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you, the cost of the podcast is about $50 a month, roughly. So that's where a lot of the costs go. We are fortunate. We do get squarespace.com to help us out when it comes to our website. So if you haven't been over there, if you even were thinking about actually starting your own website for any reasons, whether it's personal, business, or whatever, we did it on Squarespace. We have ours, thegroomer.nextdoor.squarespace.com. We go up, we put our stuff up there, and they've helped us out immensely. But it still costs to do a lot of the other things, so it's been very challenging. But there was that. Now, I will segue into our next topic, which we don't have any content for right now, but hopefully next week we will actually hear something. I've talked to April. She's over at the Raw Animal Shelter. I've also told this to John Redshaw, who is in charge of the Raw Animal Shelter. Anybody who who adopts a pet over at Raw Animal Shelter, please do me a favor. Get in contact with us. Let us know how the adjustment has worked between your new addition, your house with you and your family. Maybe you have pets. Let us know how it's going. Let us, send us a couple photos. Tell us how things are going, and we'll mention it because that's a topic that I think a lot of people really need to understand, that adopting a pet is such a great thing. So we want to actually highlight that and put a spotlight on it like we did Scruffy. Pretty much the same thing we did with Scruffy. We want to do that each week. Unfortunately, small town, so you don't have that turnaround that you'd like to have. You don't have 10, 20 people adopting per week. And if you do, well, hey, get in contact with us. Love to hear. And if you are listening from somewhere else and you just adopted a pet, let us know about it. It would be great to hear about how the adjustment was, how you are adjusting to your pet, how it's adjusting to your family and your other pets. These are great things to talk about, and it's what it's all about. That's what all this is about. So please get in touch with us over that one.
Definitely. We, like I said many a times already, there's so much ugly in this world. We definitely need positive things to talk about.
Well, there is. And, the whole thing about adopting a pet, some people will look at adopting a pet as, ooh, money in my pocket. How can I get their business? That's not what this is about. We don't care who you go to have your pet groomed. That's not the point. The point is putting a spotlight on adoption. The other day, I actually heard of a story that came out of St. Louis. A person had purchased a dog. I don't know the entire details. I was going to add it to this week's content, but I thought we had enough. So I'm just going to kind of run through it as a small synopsis. But they bought a dog at a big pet store. Not one I've ever heard of before.
No,
but
there's one in St. Louis, Springfield that we pass by all the time.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I don't recognize.
It's huge.
I don't recognize the name. This happened in St. Louis. They had given the dog a clean bill of health. People went in, they bought this dog. They said the dog was completely healthy. A young pup. I think it was like 10 months old. And apparently it had a surgery. It had a bunch of different things wrong with it. Needed continued medical help from a vet. And, the best thing that the store was going to do was give them a refund, which who wants to get a refund on something that you actually have bonded with, something that you love? It's not a pair of shoes. It's not a coat. This is an actual human being. So this is why I always stress, please go to a shelter. Please adopt. Don't go to box stores and buy pets. Buying a pet, it's just the one idea of buying a family, a family member for one seems odd, but it just bugs me.
Another big problem that I have with buying a dog at a pet store, unless it's a really reputable, you know what I mean. As long as it's a store that you know where the pups are coming from, that's one thing. But most of these pet stores get dogs or puppies that are from puppy mills, okay? There is a big, huge difference between a puppy mill and a breeder. Breeders have catalogs, they have records, they make sure they don't overbreed, they make sure who they're breeding who with, they track everything. Most of the time, they take the first letter of the stud and the first letter of the female, and they put it together and then number each puppy after that. So, if the dog was Teddy and, Sophie, it would be TS1, TS2, TS3, depending on how many puppies are there. That is typical within a good breeder. But a lot of times there's puppy mills, and especially in rural parts of the world. I know Missouri has a very bad problem.
Illinois too.
Yeah. Have a really bad problem with puppy mills where they shove a dog in a little tiny crate and take him out just long enough to breed, put him back. They don't take any care of the mother. They don't groom the mother. They don't give clean quarters for the mother. The mother is typically very stained from urine or feces, matted to all get out, and they're bred every heat. Most dogs go into heat twice a year, every 6 months. And they're constantly being bred for 5, 6, 7 years. They go out, they could buy, a $1,200 dog and think, okay, well, I can buy another $1,200 stud and breed them and breed them and breed them and breed them till you make that $1,200 back, plus an additional money to make it worth it. So they just, it's terrible. I've seen these conditions of these dogs. I've had numerous dogs come in to get groomed. I know there was one puppy mill here close to Rolla that was shut down. The police actually came and shut it down and took all the pets. And one of them just so happened to bring the dog, or one of our customers bring the dog in, and boy, she was in terrible shape. The mother, they adopted the mother, not the puppy, but the actual mother. Her skin was sagging because she had so many puppies, and there was parts of her belly that were rock hard. She was very bony because when a dog has puppies, the puppies, just like humans, will suck the vitamins, suck the nutrition from the mother. That's why you have to give them proper food. Most females end up eating puppy food, a high quality puppy food, because it's got more fatty acids in there, more stuff for a puppy to grow strong, so that when the puppies are growing inside, they take the nutrition but still leave some for the mother. That's why humans have to take vitamins, prenatals and such, folic acid, to make sure that the baby gets what they need and the mother gets what she needs. This dog came in, oh my gosh, the mat in between the eye was actually matted up to the hair on top of the head. She could barely open her eye. I had to find some way of getting it off without cutting her eye. So, pet stores, I would stay very clear from them.
Only if, like, we've seen it a couple times, if there's an organization that's going in to adopt, that's one thing. But if they're selling dogs, that's when I always draw the line.
Yeah, I would much rather personally adopt than anything. But if you really do want purebred, I'm not against that either. But I suggest getting that dog fixed. Spay and neuter it. Because you don't need to start taking on thinking that you're a breeder when you're not. You probably don't know half the things that need to be known about breeding Malteses, or half the things that you need to know about breeding a bulldog. They're most likely going to have a cesarean. There's things you just don't know, so you don't want to just jump in thinking, oh, I got 2 expensive dogs. I can make more expensive dogs out of this. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely worrisome. All right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
We'll move on to more of the nutritional side of this episode. So, did you want me to play our soundbite first, or do you want to talk first?
We'll talk a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk first. Tell us about the story without using names, but tell us a story about somebody contacting you.
So I got a phone call the other day, and not a phone call. They're calling to make an appointment. If you've ever been on Shadow of Pet Resorts Facebook, you'll see a picture of an Irish setter. His name's St. Patrick. We just call him Saint for short. Saint was dealing with a little bit of dry, itchy skin, and the lady wanted to know what might help. Well, I said, well, a good oatmeal shampoo plus conditioner can really help hydrate the skin. But to really stop the dry itchiness, you'd have to add something extra to the skin, or something extra to the food to help the skin. So I told her, well, you can try flaxseed oil, even fish oil. But I've heard, great things about flaxseed oil, since people don't like the smell of the fish oil itself. So they don't want to deal with the smell of fish oil. So they want an alternative to fish oil. That's where we come to the soundbite that you found about flaxseed oil.
All right, ready for that?
All right, so sit back. It's a short.
45 seconds.
It's real short, but then we'll continue talking about it more.
Flaxseed oil is a great addition to your pet's diet because it's known to lower triglycerides and cholesterol. An excellent source of omegas and essential fatty acids, flaxseed oil stimulates the immune system and helps prevent degenerative diseases and illnesses such as joint problems, cardiovascular problems, and cancer. Plus, flaxseed helps improve skin conditions such as dull coat, eliminates hot spots, and corrects dry, cracked paws and noses. Our cold-pressed flaxseed oil is certified organic and does not contain hexane. It provides a natural, effective solution for many serious conditions without resorting to expensive drug therapy.
So hopefully that gives you a little bit of ideas. I didn't want to do something that was going to be super long, this big, long MP3 kind of thing to go on. I wanted to do something simple. Gives you an idea of the values of what flaxseed oil, and of course without having to repeat all this stuff, it just kind of had a nice little sound to it. So thought I would add that in. Anything you want to add on that?
Well, you got to look online or speak to your veterinarian on how much flaxseed oil you give to your pet. The research that I've done is that you want to slowly introduce flaxseed oil to your dog because it is a fiber-like substance and it can plug them up.
I do remember hearing about that.
Yeah, and then you want to make sure that your dog drinks enough water so they can't be dehydrated. If they're dehydrated in general, then when they try to go to the bathroom, it's going to hurt because it's not moving out slowly or it's moving out like it's supposed to. They're straining to do so. So you want to try to get the dog interested in drinking the water. I know you can lead a horse to water and can't make them drink. Same thing with the dog. But you just got to make sure they drink water. The flaxseed oil, mostly like for an Irish setter size, it was 2 capsules. I know Nature Made, the vitamin at Walmart, they use that stuff too. It's just any kind of flaxseed oil that you can have. You don't want extra stuff in it. If it says flaxseed oil, you want flaxseed oil and a bunch of other stuff mixed into it. I know there's also flaxseed powder that's out there. You can't give the dog regular flaxseed. It needs to either be made into an oil or a powder. The flaxseed itself is so small, it will just pass right through their system and you won't get any benefits. So it needs to be grounded up or made into an oil. I feel the oil is just easier to give to. They just suck it up and go for it. The powder, I don't know. It's really up to you and your preference or where you might actually get the flaxseed oil or powder from. But just take caution, do some research on it before giving your dog anything. Make sure you get reputable, help me with that word.
Reputable.
There you go. Information.
Yeah,
Speaking of which.
I was just thinking, boy, that cicada that was up there, it sounded like a fire alarm going off. So if any of you actually do not live in the Midwest, I do know we have a few listeners on the West Coast. You have no idea what that sound is. And trust me, 4 years ago, neither did I. And now I wish I never knew.
I've always been told it was cicada, but something online says cicada.
It's the same thing.
All I know is that they're ugly and they're obnoxious.
Well, what's funny is that this year we actually haven't had their shells all over our door.
Not yet. That's still a little bit later.
I thought it was coming up. I thought it was always right around now.
I don't know.
We would walk back into the house and the actual screen door would have a shell of the cicada, whatever you want to call it. And of course, the bug isn't there. It's just this shell.
Well, once they come out of their shell, they actually have wings. It's kind of like a butterfly coming out.
And they're still ugly, unlike a butterfly.
Yeah, those things are ugly. And then when one of them gets hurt, they make the worst sound than when they're up in the air.
Yeah, they're pretty gross. So, if you just heard that, that wasn't an alarm of any sort. It wasn't a fire alarm. That was actually a bug. Yeah, so, yeah,
those
it's gross.
darn things are insane.
It is just gross.
Just along with the flaxseed oil, get proper advice. About advice. Be careful who you get your advice from. One of my buddies on Facebook has a dog, and his dog was limping, right? And a couple people gave pretty good advice, and then somebody jumps in and says, well, if he's hurting, give him some Advil or Tylenol. Folks, whatever you do, do not give your dogs Advil, Tylenol, or aspirin. Don't do it. If any kind of pain medication needs to get involved with the dog, you contact that vet and you talk to a vet tech or somebody who will know what kind of pet or what kind of medication you can give to a human and a dog. Okay, I'm not going to pretend like I know.
Well, what's nice is that we do this show with the backbone of research. We don't just completely talk out of our rear. We actually come in here with facts. If we don't know something before we start recording, we go on and we find it.
And, you know, in school, going through high school and whatnot, they've always told us when you're doing research for a paper, you need to have more than one source. I know my school required to have 3 sources that you got the same information from. So when we do our research, we have 3 to 5 sources that say the same thing. And it's not some personal blog or some freelance person. No, this is stuff that is from veterinarians around the world or around the U.S. It's
well, we maintain all of our sources are from the U.S. We try not to actually outsource anything. None of our information comes from any other country because of how the
climate and stuff is.
Well, it's not that. It's all of the different ways that they allow things to go in other countries. Yeah. Other countries will they allow a little bit more than we do. We actually have a lot more guidelines, which I think is probably what helps us in the long run. Maybe hurts us. I don't know. It's really up to debate. You could say that maybe we have too many guidelines that prevents us from having certain things. Maybe we have less.
Talk about guidelines. I know what we're going to be talking about next.
I was going to talk about that in a second.
Oh, about the proposition?
No, actually, okay. I wasn't going to.
Well, we're going to talk about this the proposition that we have to vote, that we're voting on August 5th.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
That it's freedom to farm.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
And it's where, farmers can do whatever they want on their land. I'm going to do some more research on the proposition and speak to Kim and a few other people that are really up to date on this and give the pros and cons to it and the reasons for voting.
Now, of course, that's only going to help if you're in this area, but you may learn something about Midwest.
It's not just that. It's if they try to pull this, crap in your area, that you'll be a little more aware of when someone says something like this, because there's farming all over the U.S. There's farming in California.
True.
So just keep in mind and really read through, but we will be reading through that this week, and our next podcast we're gonna. I
can't guarantee it'll be on the next podcast. So let me give you guys a little bit of updates on upcoming events. Upcoming events for us. For starters, I would love to I have to say it, we have a kitty correspondent. Now, when I say kitty, I don't mean the name kitty, I mean a kitty cat. Kim has graciously accepted, maybe
forcefully.
Yeah, maybe a little forcefully, but has gracefully accepted to be our kitty correspondent. Kim is the biggest cat supporter I have ever met. And for that, obviously I must respect it by a long shot because I really do as much as I can for her. She works with a lot of different organizations. She goes and does a great deal of TNR. This woman is just a phenomenal person. She accepted after, of course, like Sarah said, by force, to be our kitty correspondent. She knows of a lot of people who have been doing a lot of great things with animals, and she will be going out and getting a bunch of different interviews with them in the coming weeks. So I don't know when we're going to have our first kitty correspondent, but it will be coming up very soon. Now this week, this is a very short week for Sarah and I. We will be at the West Plains Veterinarian Trade Show,
Yeah.
I think is the exact terminology for it. We will be out in Springfield, Missouri. We will be leaving here on Thursday. We get done with work, say goodbye to Claire. We're out until at least Saturday.
I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick. It's an amendment, not a proposition. An amendment.
Amendment.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, we'll get details on that. Make sure you catalog that as topics. Next episode, we're going to do as much as we can to talk about the trade show, different things that are coming around for all you pet lovers. That's, for me, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to shoot a video podcast and do a podcast as well. I don't know exactly how much my abilities will be. I don't know if they're going to allow it. I don't know what the rules are. Been some up and down kind of moments where they're saying, oh, we don't want it. Oh, it's okay. I don't know. So we'll find out. But no matter what, we will talk about it. So there's no way around it. We will definitely talk about it. We'll bring you as much info as we can. And, honestly, I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to seeing all the new things that are coming out for dogs and cats. So that should be interesting. And let's see, that's usually about it for the upcoming that I know of right now. Let's see, we're coming up at the end of the month, aren't we? We're there. So in about 2 weeks, I think, is the next P-Call meeting. I will be there. Even if I leave work early, I'll make a point. I'm going to be there for the next one. Remember, folks, September 20th? I hope I'm right about that. We'll be Strut Your Mutt over in Rolla, Missouri. If you are looking to actually attend this event, send us an email. We will be participating heavily in this event. I know I will be one judge in one or more categories, be hosting the very first ever dog carding over at...
We got to get a hold of everybody in dog carding and
Yes.
start making sure they save the date.
Yes, that will be coming up very soon. So if you actually know me from dog carding, from the pages, you will be seeing a lot of me in the next coming weeks. Let's see, I think...
We have Claire starting kindergarten.
Oh, gosh, that's right.
On the 13th.
I thought about that. Yeah, actually, that is true. Claire starts in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from a couple days ago, she will be starting kindergarten. So I'm very excited. I actually hope to learn a little bit more in a couple weeks about that. Scary moments, folks. It's easy to have a pet, but man, when you have a kid that has to go out of the house and go for quite a few hours. I mean, a long day for her.
8 to 3?
Yeah,
3:15
yeah,
or
something like that. I mean, that's a long day. I mean, I don't ever have a
She
nap.
gets to take a nap during the middle of it. I want to take a nap during the middle of working.
I do too. We're going to make that mandatory. Starting this week, we get naps at work. I don't think that's going to get much done, but, well, it's worth a shot. I mean, I might as well say it. All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
My allergies are starting to kill me, so...
I am being eaten up alive.
Oh, really? Well, I sprayed myself.
I'm also wearing capris, so I got more skin exposed.
Well, I got the Sentinella candles out.
And they're not doing anything.
It worked for me. At least I think it did. I'm not feeling anything bite me. That's the first. I mean, it is a really pretty night out here, so we're very fortunate to be able to be outside.
It's not real hot. It's nice. Like I said, I'm not supposed to be out in heat.
Well, it was kind of getting to be sunset at the time when we started this. We have nice trees over us. It is weird to be in such a rural part of the country, and yet the street that we live on is completely, what am I looking at? What am I looking to use the word?
Well, we don't live in exactly a rural area.
Yeah, we don't live, well,
we
it's
live in a big college town.
Well,
it's just, you know, our street is a very popular street, but yeah, it's actually kind of
we live in a suburban area, and it's kind of nice, you know. I could drive 5 minutes away and I'd be in nothing land. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting how that works out. So I guess that's about it. You know, again, thank you to the owners at DEE-OOO-GEE for letting us play with your pet. Let us do what we did with your pet this past week. I will take my experience with your dog into work tomorrow, and that'll get me jump started through. Again, for anybody who is looking to just do a little bit, and not much, simple little thing that you want to do, drop on down to the Kroger store right here in Rolla, donate a bag of dog or cat food. That'll help out somebody in need. And, of course, to our good friend Allie and Gage, congratulations on your wedding. I hope you guys have a long and fruitful marriage. Flaxseed oil, you know, definitely look into it. Of course, if your dog has, you know, hot spots and there's some issues, it also could be food. It might not just, it might be something else as well. So, you know, consider all sources, but this might help you. Anything else?
I'm good.
You're good?
I think
All right.
everybody's tired of hearing this yap.
Well, my allergies are killing me. I'm going to have to go inside and take an allergy medicine. Allergy pill is what I was going to go with. All right, folks. Well, I'm Chris Green. Have a pup-tastic week.
And I'm Sarah Green. Make sure everybody realizes life is short. Play with your pet.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.